Hey everyone. I know it's been a long time since I posted a substantial video on my YouTube channel, and my videos have been up and they've been down and they've been up and they've been down. And where have I been and what have I been doing? So all that rigmarole of my YouTube and my website, The Pollard Bull, going up and down came about because I wanted to be able to come from the right place internally. And the right place is a place of balance. The last years have been upheaval. Last 3 years have been upheaval for me in a number of different ways. Different jobs, moving to different cities, and then of course having 2 kids and not really having a support system around me. So it's been, anybody who's been a new parent knows what I'm going through. It's completely different than the bachelor life that I lived when I was in the order. So it's time to get back into this. And the reason why is that I can't stay silent anymore. What I wanted to do from the beginning and what I started to do was to review the order belief system, the DCCS belief system. And for those of you who are not initiated into the understanding of what the Davis County Cooperative Society is, I'll explain that for you. So DCCS, I know there are people that are watching this that do not know what that means. So I will make sure on each video, at least at the beginning, to explain some of the terminology that will be used in the video. I am Kent Bull. I came from a place called the Davis County Cooperative Society, which is also known as the Kingston Clan, the Kingston Group. Some people call it the Kingston Cult. It's also called the Latter-day Church of Jesus Christ. And for legal reasons, to shield liability and move money around and launder money, quite honestly, if you look at available court documents, the Davis County Cooperative Society and the Latter-day Church of Jesus Christ are separate, and they'll say that it's separate for some spiritual reason, but it's not. It's for some economic reason, and we'll go into the history of that at some point. My grandfather, Ortel Kingston, John Ortel Kingston, is the one who made the Latter-day Church of Christ. And people in the Kingston Group like to say, oh, that's not the DCCS, but it's the same people. It's the same bank accounts that fund it. Anyway, that's part of what I'm here to do, is to describe the history of the people that I came from. And are they my people? That's a question that I'm asking myself right now. Who is my people? Who are my people? Where are they? What am I? And I'm here waking up at 35, finally lucid enough and in control of my emotions enough to start to look over my life with a fine-tooth comb. And as I do that, part of that process for me is to look into the past and to say, where did I come from? What is it really? And to take this old rundown warehouse and fix up all the broken windows, to fix the broken doors, to get the shipping processes working again, to get the whole place operational, and to find a way to integrate it into the larger whole of my life, the future of my life. There are a lot of crazy things that happened in the order. Some of them happened to me. Some of them happened while I was there. And now I feel like I live a totally different life in many ways. And I wish that the younger self of me could know what I know now, because it would be so terribly, tremendously validating. And so, yes, I'm doing this for me, and I'm also doing it for all those young men in the order who are the lifeblood of the order. It's not the women. The women are important, but who pays the bills, people? It's the guys, and it's usually the single guys that are doing the vast majority of the work. Single or singly married, everyone else in the order is living off of their benefit. And some people are going to sit here and cry, oh, no. Matthew and Robert and other people that have access to Paul's hundreds of millions are investing in the stock market or in crypto or in this or that or the other, or this derivative or that company over there. Well, and when you're being an asset manager, you're really doing it on behalf of other people, and you want to call it your own genius. Well, guess what, genius? Most people don't beat the market. So if you just put your money in the market, it's going to double every 7 years anyway. So anyway, it's we'll get into all that, because who should own the money from the co-op? Should it be Paul's family, LaDonna's kids, the royalty? I mean, they're not literal royalty, and some people will try to claim that. They'll say, oh, we're descended from all the families of Israel, and we're descended from this king and that king, whatever, and it means we have royal blood. And that royal blood means we have some preference or some selection bias towards us. We're God's chosen people. We'll get into all of that. We're going to talk through everything. And I'll start by saying where I'm at, what I believe. So Jordan Peterson talks about believing an internal Christ, not an external one. That's where I'm at. I personally believe, for any of you who want to know or categorize or put me into a box, I personally believe, because of my experiences with the divine, with God, that yes, God is real. And God is the most real thing that there is. And Christ was a being who embodied the state of consciousness where one can intentionally commune with God, create union with God. And Christ lived by a set of principles and disciplines to allow one to attain that state. And when you attain that state and you dwell in it regularly, you learn how to subordinate yourself to it or surrender to that divine flow and divine instruction. And that's when your life really turns on. That's what I believe I'm doing right now. I've been called to this. My heart has called me to this. My connection with divinity has called me to raise my voice, specifically to the people from the place which I came from. This is for me, but it's also for you. And my duty is to go over all of the order history that I have access to and that I will get access to through this process, as well as Mormon church history and even the Christian church history and beyond, to the Egyptian religion and then what came before that, to be a guide for people, to help people think. I'm not doing the decision-making here. You are. All you need is information and then a place to talk and articulate and decide and think for yourself. You're going to be just fine. You're going to go through pain, but guess what? You're bigger than it, and you're here to grow. So I will look at all, as far as, now with that said, all of my old videos, I'm going to watch them all. I'm going to think about them, see if I should put them back up. I'll probably put most of them back up at some point. And this, moving forward, things will just stay stable. They'll stay on. They'll stay available. I just so you know that things will stay there. I did not want to come from a place of only fury, only anger, even if it's righteous anger or righteous fury. I wanted to come from a place of balance because I don't want to unbalance any of you by giving you negativity and sadness and darkness that is not going to serve you. And yes, sometimes negativity can serve. Sometimes darkness and sadness and wrath and fury and anger can serve, but so can joy and gentleness and gratitude, compassion and courage, bravery and belonging. The reason why I'm doing all of this is to give you a place to think, to give you another perspective, to give you the facts, really. And so I will, of course, I'm biased by my opinion. I'm biased by my perspective. But my commitment to you as a viewer of this content, of this channel, wherever you're seeing this, is that I give you the truth, the facts as I see them, and I do my best to give you the most rational, sane interpretation, the most likely interpretation that makes sense. That's it. We can just keep it simple. So here we go. Today's the day to get started. I'm with you to the end.